and a 1. Hello, here we are. It's a Thursday, and it's at an earlier time than usual. We've got the old local support meeting set up. We didn't, for some reason, was I out last? Anyway, it feels like it's been a couple of weeks. I'll get this set up here so we can see something that I'm writing. And yes, so I guess the key thing from me is I've realized I'm massively behind. So like I've failed to arrange a client meeting. I did see the client like two weeks ago. It was just getting over the tail end of my illness, and the board needs serious cleanup. I've also had a new contract come through, which is annoyingly closed source. It's kind of interesting project, but it's closed source and it's taken up a lot of my time. And also like providing funds to pay for me to go to take the children to see their grandkids in Japan this summer, so I kind of have to do it. But yeah, so I'm kind of short of time. The thing that I'm thinking is about maybe making the meeting every 2 weeks and making the every second meeting a client meeting, because I keep on like just failing to do the client meeting. So I need some mechanism to force myself to meet the client and clean the board up and so on. Those are the main things on my agenda. Nick, what's on your mind as regards local support?
I don't have anything that needs addressing. I saw your comments on my pull request, and I'm going to make the change this week. I'm merging in the conflicts right now. So
okay. Oh, great.
Yeah, I'll get to it this week.
But yeah, that's this. We've got the social media, Twitter one. Yeah, and as I say, we've got we've got a Twitter account from the client, and yeah, this would be a lovely thing to take live. But it sounds like you're not blocked, then, and it's all under control.
It's pretty much completely done, right? Just need to make that last adjustment.
All right.
Should only take a few minutes, but I've just been I got so much other stuff that's kind of more of a priority for me. So
sure. Yeah, no, I totally understand. No problem at all. But yeah, really excited to get that out. Lovely. Brent, anything on your mind at all?
Not specifically, no. Really, today was to try and get me back up to speed, because I've been not around for such a long time.
Yes.
In terms of work that I'm sort of looking at, I have made a little bit of progress with the testing that we looked at on my face-to-face last week around importing the organizations.
So this is testing, yeah, and actually, so this is part of it. Is now we're actually in the local support league, aren't we?
Yeah,
it's added code. Yeah, so this is testing for a service to import this is organization data from Charity API.
Yeah, so the plan is really just to continue working on that into next week, and then maybe we'll have another face-to-face in the next few weeks, and we can have a look at how that's going. But that's really my I guess my goal over the next few weeks.
Yeah, that sounds great. Really excited about. I think it will be there's like many different pieces and things that before we can ultimately connect it all up. So I think it will take a while to get there, but very excited about eventually doing it. I mean, who knows? Next year, no rush, but yeah, just very excited about that whole process. And we've had Nico and Sigu and Getty have joined us. Welcome. Woo! So I'll just mention the and Brett is back. Yeah, Nico's excited. Nico has a hat on. The temperature is
I've missed those woolly hats.
Good stuff. So we've just been doing our little review that we go around. I'll just mention that the failings on my part. I have failed to arrange a client meeting. The board needs a serious cleanup. I'm very much thinking that what I need to do is like maybe make every second week a client meeting to make sure it happens regularly, and I do force myself to clean the board up. But so my apologies there. Nico, on local support, anything on your radar? Any concerns? Anything?
Yeah, the pull request it is. I think that is still open. The one for the newsletter.
Of course. So this is the search local events.
You maybe can work with Stella on that.
Are you thinking that you might be able to work with Stella on the search local events pull request?
No. Sigu.
Sigu, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, certainly Sigu could indeed provide a review. Yes, good show. Yeah, anything else on your mind?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to do a review.
Maybe an upgrade to Ruby, but
yeah, are we not already on local support? Are we not already on the latest?
Nope.
Ruby? There's a new one
because
coming out,
we were holding on because Liang Song was having trouble with his machine trying to set up the project.
Oh, okay.
At that time.
All right. So yeah, we'll put that in there. Newer version of Ruby. Sigu. And hey, Gary. Sigu, anything on your mind?
Sorry, I was muted. I didn't know that. So we were actually looking at a pull request with Getty. The pull request Nico is talking about. Yeah, that's what we were going through. So maybe we'll finish looking at it and just understanding how it's been done, how the tests were done before I merge it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be merged in before the end of the day. Then just what you talked about, the board, it needs some serious cleanup. And probably beginner-friendly issues for Getty Musa.
Indeed. So
there were conflicts on there, so I'm merging them in right now and getting it cleaned up and making the last change. So once that's done, then it will be ready to be looked at again. And
that's your pull request, Nick. Yeah, I think Sigu's referring to the pivotal tracker.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's too much problem with individual pull requests. Getty, anything extra on your mind? Doesn't have to be. No pressure.
Hi guys.
Oh.
So yes, I've been okay through the entire day. We were mostly working on my issue on volunteer opportunities. With the help of Sigu, I actually finished it. So thanks, Sigu. And for the afternoon, we're going to be working on a project proposal with Malcolm. Yeah, send out more proposals, get more rejections, and yeah, that's just about it.
Yeah, challenging keep getting those rejections, isn't it? It's,
yeah.
Yeah, but well done getting the feature finished. Oh, and so Sigu, you merged that one in, did you?
Merged in already.
Oh, right. Thank you for that. Good show. And then Musa is here as well. Hey, Musa, Musa, have you been working on any local support things?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay. Sigu assigned me a task of cleaning up the pivot tracker of the local support. Actually, I found one issue, and I contacted you, Sam, or I wrote that the issue had been completed, and I had given you the link to the pull request for that issue, actually.
Yes.
And I've been working on another issue where a support for the recurring events.
Right.
Actually, I'm stuck somewhere, but you told me that the same issue was implemented on website 1 project.
Yep.
So actually today I was trying to configure the website 1 in my local machine so that I can check how the issue was implemented. Yeah.
Good show. Yes. Yeah, and by the way, on that note, the way that website 1 does implement recurring events is not necessarily the most efficient way. It works, but don't take it as a kind of like example of the best way to do it. But anyway, yeah, so we can look at that. Okay. Well, great to see everybody. It seems like that this time suddenly we've got a big lot of folks. I guess the question is then, what's the most efficient thing to do? It sounds like nobody is particularly blocked apart from I've failed to review this search local events, which maybe Sigur will handle. I'm we could just break and all work independently. I have two ideas for things that we might do now, which people not required to stay around for. One is we could kind of do the board cleanup together. and that might be of interest to people who are like looking for new tickets and this, that, and the other. You know, people not required to stay around for that. Certainly good to get it done. The other thing is I could do kind of like a live review of the search local events piece, which might also be helpful. Just looking at the pull requests, I think we've got this. We do have a need for someone to practice the like this thing that's been submitted by Faith. I think looks good. We just need to practice the install process with her new code. So I mean, we could even do that. I guess if we put the down to the bottom here, like, I think the actions that need to take place, they don't have to take place in this meeting. But so actions are, we've got one is install Faith's branch on a clean machine. We've got clean up the board, and then there's also a review of the search local events. Is anybody particularly interested in either taking the lead on any of these things independently, or even seeing them happen now in the meeting and doing them together in a kind of a mob session?
Yeah, we can do it now if you don't have a problem with that.
Yep.
Cleaning up the such local events and clean up the board probably.
So these so we've got. I guess what I can just quickly do is if I take these 3 things and throw them into Slack, and then people can put like a thumbs up by the thing that they're most excited about us doing now in a mob session, and then we can let democracy emerge. So here's one. So thumbs up that one if you'd like to put a smiley face on that one if you'd like to do it. Put a thumbs up if you want to see us do it now. So we've got. There we go. Smiley faces on clean up the board. That's people who want to be on the board. We've got a smiley face for review search local events. There's 2. It certainly seems to be those 2. We could do one or the other together. Is well, we've got a plus on there. Oh, we've got another smiley face. And it's
what's the difference between the smiley face and the
thumbs up? Smiley faces. I'll give it another. I'm gonna have a. Let me finish my coffee. The excitement of live democracy in action. It's almost too much for me. It looks like we've got. Oh, Brent's going to try it. Well, because you've got your clean new machine as well. Brent.
Yeah, I'm happy to try that, but I probably won't have a chance till early next week. But if there's no urgency, I'm happy to do that. That'd be
great. It looks like we're seeing a winner there for clean up the board. Let's start on that, and if we can get that done in 10 or 15 minutes, we could even then like have a little get into that search local events thing. Yeah, let's go into the board. And see what's going on. While that's loading, I'm just going to bring up the site as well. That's all there. The other thing that we do have is we've got this ongoing slight bleed about the database size. So there is a need to work out a long-term solution for that, which is a way to store the click events differently. But we can kind of like cope with that on the DevOps side. That's just something for us to think about maybe on another occasion. So let's start. Here's the board. We've got things like we've got this post our volunteer ops to do it via API key. I've kind of done this once. It's like a very specific feature. I haven't. Gosh. The thing is, it probably works. We kind of need the client to do it before we say it's really working. And it's one of those things where, I don't know, the client's probably not going to be able to do this unless I give them a lot of help. I guess I leave it on there as a kind of reminder for me in the next meeting with the client to get them to do this and see if it works. It's... I guess it has to stay. I kind of feel like I can't click it except I feel dishonest. Do you know what I mean? and this bug is then related to it. So I feel like I can't click the accept on there. And please feel free to disagree with me and suggest alternative approaches. We've got display the individual events show page as a, yeah, I think that, yeah, this is definitely now all working, and that's ready to be shown to the client. So it just relies on the client meeting. And we've got ensure upcoming events have nicely formatted dates there. So I feel like, so there was, so this is supposedly addressed in this pull request, or at least that's the code. That's not the kind of link that I want to see. I guess we've got, I feel like we've got an outstanding issue with the events, in as much as, and I have to create like a new one in order to put the calendar in there. Please sign me in. Sign me in. There we go. So test. Oh, selecting organization. Do I have to select an organization? So we can now select. We've got lovely selection for the date things there. Will it force me? I think it doesn't. I don't have to have. Oh yeah, can't be blank. Have to select an organization. Let's put Agile Ventures in. Where's Agile Ventures? Agile Ventures. Right. So those, I guess, no, those dates are reasonable, aren't they? I don't know about for anybody else. It feels to me like this just still doesn't look wonderful, but I guess the date formatting has been fixed from what it was.
Is that just because it's just test and test? That I guess if there's more content there, it won't look so bad. Although I think the padding needs to be fixed.
I think it's the and we've got no ability to edit the page then as well. Have we not even got the path set up? I think it's probably the padding.
Yeah,
is the key thing. I mean, I think also the having like start date like that would I like be in bold or something, like having it just sort of feels like it's a bit difficult to read the dates there. But that's, yeah, I think it's kind of the padding.
I think the wording should be starts and finishes as well, rather than just because you know it's a date, don't you? So
yeah, but so I think it's clear that this has been absolutely, yeah, the date stands out there. So I think the right, so we've got. I'll show that to the client. I'm almost certain that we'll need padding, but this would be like a beginner friendly issue, wouldn't it? We could say ensure what's this, that individual event view has nice padding and formatting. That would, I'd say, is it a feature or bug? Let's put it as a feature. We could say that that's a beginner friendly. What I could kind of burn time here writing out more of a description. I guess the way we could make this do it into a mob session. Anybody who understands this one, like for example, I mean, Brent, you were just making a great suggestion about the text there. I'll just put this link into if anybody wants to kind of like embellish those, like this story with more notes, screenshot, what have you. I mean, I guess I'll just throw a screenshot of what it sort of currently looks like in there now. And then it can be, go through a triage towards, making some improvements. Currently looks like, I guess what we could also be doing is voting on that. I guess I'll drag it back into the Icebox, and we can maybe have a little voting session on some of these. Is the thing to do there actually, I guess, if I grab that, I can just start votes in the this voter clean up events view. Okay, So that vote, I don't know that we necessarily need much more discussion. If people want to stop me and have the discussion, I'm just going to throw that in there. Brent, it seemed like you managed to vote even before I posted the thing. That's like superhuman abilities there.
It's this new fast machine.
Right, you saw it even faster than me. The other thing I'm thinking there is we have no way to edit the event. And maybe we've got the roots in there, but I think that's a kind of a key thing. We can add that as well, which is, I mean, I wonder if we had a feature in there and it's not been deployed or what have you, but if I just put edit in there, can we see any epics? Not immediately seeing anything there. My head's in the way. Yeah, so I think that's another straightforward one that people could work on, which is need to allow editing of existing events. And that's a feature, currently no edit button on show page. Let's save that. Okay, so we've got 5 votes on there for that. Previous one, I'm going to vote as well. Let's just do the reveal. And we can see, oh, everybody's gone for simple. Yes. So that's this one. Let's pop that. That's a 1. We can drop that now straight into the backlog. We've now got this next one, which is about to allow editing of existing events. And please, particularly if people have got spare hands, do I know I'm terrible at writing these tickets when I'm in the meeting and I'm in a rush. Allow editing of existing events. So if there's anything that you think that should be added to the story that will help people work on it, then just please do add. And I think you will put edit permissions in the tracker. Okay, so then we've got search log events, which maybe we'll come on to. Yeah. So lots and lots of accepts things that yes, I've got to work through with the client. Jasmine CI failing. Right, I think we turned off the Jasmine CI. Does it, because it wasn't working on Travis? Yeah, I like that was the. Ooh, that's an interesting question about whether that's still an issue.
Yeah, I didn't think it was when I looked at this, but it was a while ago when I looked at it. So
yeah, I mean, I think so. What I remember was that we originally resolved the issue by turning off the Jasmine tests in Travis. So if we look at the .travis file, let me see here for script. After script. You see, I think it's just doing rspec and rake.
Yep.
So what would need to happen here is that someone needs to RVM use 2.4.2. PJ again. Oh, we've got a bundle. I just merged in 3 pull requests that you were rebasing there, Nico, to keep us up on the Dependabot stuff. So that might take a while, but I think Jasmine always ran locally, but then there was a period where it stopped running on Travis. So what we could probably do with it is a pull request from somebody, which turns the turns it back on. Now that might not be obvious how to turn that back on, but if we look at the Git history of the Travis file, we'll probably see that it has like bundle exec rake Jasmine .ci in there somewhere. I'm starting to get all excited about VS Code recently. Let me just minimize that window up there. Haven't used it with LocalSupport yet. I wonder if it will allow me to quickly see the Git history. Let's maximize that. So yeah, it's the Travis .yaml is controlling our. Now, can I just go here and say, can I compare? Compare file with previous revision. Compare. That seems like show file history. Is that just going to be local history? Show branch history. Shows develop history. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Ooh. Show commit search. I don't know. That's not quite what I wanted.
You can use git k if you want. Git k and the name of the file.
Oh, right. I was just gonna, yeah, I'm just hoping to see if am I missing some of the options there? I'll go to if I can't find it in the next 15 seconds, I will go to compare with previous revision. Is it to there? Tell me there. So there's some other was a change there. So there's a change so you made a change previously with cover rules. That was the last change that we've had. But yeah, I want to see is it this one? What's this one do? Toggle file blame annotations. Not quite what I want. More. I'm sure there is a great way in VS Code to see it, but let's do git k here. So git k travis.yaml. I don't have that for brew. So,
git k.
Is there? Let's close that view. You would have thought. I do like the way. See, look, as you mouse over things, it tells you, who did what, and so on. I kind of like that.
3 months ago. Yeah.
There we go. So here, show commit file details, compare line original, change, show file history. And I get. This is the. Look, this is the. Sorry, I had missed it. It's actually showing me the file history here, so I can kind of see like we've got like remove the Jasmine test which cannot run on Travis. But so when I click on that, that's in the history. Yeah.
Open changes, maybe?
Open changes? Okay, yeah. There we go. So in fact, so this is the line.
Yeah.
That would need to just kind of go in there and see if Travis and everybody have fixed that. So I can pop that in there and it's like, so it's not sure, need to re-add to the travis.yaml to check if it now works. Pull request with that change should suffice. So if anybody wants to do that right now, I don't know, Nico, you're a kind of fan of the whole build process. We can maybe clear that up. So UX bug with vol ops search. That one. Oh, right. That one's for the to show the client. Okay. Events newsletter. That's still on there. I think with the events newsletter, I think we have to kind of like maybe close this pull request. It's such a big and complex thing. And I think Stella got stuck and Nico hasn't then really had time to work with her. I think I'm going to propose we should close this and put the feature back in. And if somebody wants to restart, they can kind of look at it. Does anybody have any strong feelings that I should keep it open?
Nope.
No, seems like a good course of action.
Yeah, I've decided that I've kind of, in the past, I've always been like, oh, we should just keep everything open, on the off chance people will come. So I'll just put like, I was going to say that, we're going to close this for now. Happy to have it restarted if anyone has a chunk of time to work on it. It's definitely not beginner friendly. The mechanism that we say on that one, it's working with a third-party API and so on. So I've commented on it, and then let's just close the pull request, and then now events newsletter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move that back into the backlog. If it will let me. Will it not let me? Has it?
I think you have to change the status.
Oh, right, rather than just. Yeah, that makes sense. So now, and of course, the thing that we're doing at the moment, which is this sort of review, ideally should be happening weekly. And in a world where I had unlimited time, I might have spent an hour before this meeting making sure that it was exactly in the right setup. So I think clearly the experience for there, we're going to have to. I think we should push that up to 3 points because it was clearly tricky. So we'll put that on there. Okay, so then we've got improved embedded map tests. That's right. So I didn't know about that. I mean, that's as a bug fixed for improving that seems to me more like a chore. Like the tests are
Yeah, and I think you finished that one actually, Sam.
Yeah, I think we will just mark that as done. Suggestions of values. Site looks odd on mobile. Now that's something Nico and Brent, you were working on it. You've done a number of things. There was still stuff outstanding that you thought could improve the view on mobile.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll leave that one there for as and when you want to get that, or I guess feel free to break, out the ones that haven't been done, put them in a new ticket, and close this one. And
yeah,
Okay.
that was actually my suggestion.
Yeah,
just to make the pull request smaller.
yeah. Well, if Sigurd, if you've got a free hand, do you want to do that? Right, this I'm sort of.
Yes, Sigurd, we were making each change a separate pull request, but it was just one pivotal ticket. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So, well, anyway, I'll leave it up to you folks how you handle that. I think it's I mean, the client, I think, will generally be extremely pleased to improve the thing on mobile. So, remove variable not being used. I think that's clearly a chore rather than the client's not going to review that. So, yep, and that's done. Well done, Nico. We'll get that. There we go. Clearing things out. Okay. So an upgrade to Rails 5, again, that ends up being a chore. That is, we are all in awe of Nico's upgrading abilities. Most recently, upgrading website 1, absolutely extraordinary. Yes. Thank you so much. Method of setting location of event. Okay. So we've got that. That looks like that's someone's. I don't know why that's in a started state. I'm going to just pop that onto unstarted, because that's something. Yeah, that looks like that was maybe, I don't know, someone started it and then they removed their. Yeah, we've got Nick. I think you got to the bottom of why some of the volunteer opportunities didn't have latitude and longitude, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it's just sort of. Yeah, it's just that we've got stuff coming in that's so as kind of a research ticket, it's kind of done. Just it's not due to a flaw in our code. It's just that some of the data coming in from the remote just doesn't have latitude and longitude data.
Right. Yep.
So I guess, and then you've got some things in. Did we already merge it in? I think, did you have one of your pull requests managed? Was kind of like giving them default locations.
It's merged in.
And it's merged in. Yeah. So that's the research ticket has been done. That can go. Yeah, fixed unterminated statements. That looks like that is a chore. There we go. What have we got here? So that one I can get the client to approve. Remove duplicated cucumber step. That's a chore rather than a bug. Thanks for that. Clean up, Nico. Every time I change it, then I lose my place in the whole list. Oh, gosh, what are we up to? Track for click-through on embedded map to third-party sites. So yeah, that's in place. Yeah, add contributing workflow to documentation. Yeah, that looks like that's done. That's done.
Yeah,
so that should just
yeah.
So that's just the way that the system is set up is that bugs kind of have to be explicitly accepted by the client. So probably anything where it's not going to be signed off by the client, we would just mark it as a chore. So then we've got here a bug that will not work. And so is that still the case that this is not working? Let's have a look. Right. It's got it's one of these things where if you put it in, it will automatically redirect to the www. So yeah, it's a bit of a, I think we've got the same setup with agileventures.org. It's definitely a bug. It's something that the client could sign off on. All right. So Nisevi was not Nisevi, but yeah, we had a suggestion, and actually, the suggestion from Brent. So this is kind of like we've got that. This is I would have to do this in the DNS, so it requires admin input. So this is blocked on me. So I guess we leave that there, and I will have to look at it. Undefined method. All right. So this was. yeah, this error that I got. I mean, the system, it's clearly working on the main system now. I think I'm going to mark that as a, I think that was maybe only ever on my system. And the events controller show is working on the main system, so I don't think we want to bother the client with it. Right. And then, so this is the automated posting to social media feeds. That's what Nick is working on. Deprecation warning. So this is like, I guess, another little sort of tinker there from you, Nisevi. We'll just make that a chore.
Yeah.
Well done fixing that. It's really easy to go to the very bottom. And we've got here, remove merge in non-published fields from, what's this? Oh, so Mariam, who's not here, is working on something. Okay. We've got support for repeating events. That's what Musa is working on. We've got allow super admin to upgrade individual users to site admin. That was, so Getty, yeah, this was the one, and I sort of pushed you in a slightly different direction. Shall I put this back to unstarted? Did you do any work on this one? I think you're just thinking about it, right? Getty is muted at the moment. I guess I'll just pop it back onto.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, this I think we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. You were thinking about working on this ticket to allow the super admin to upgrade individual users to site admin.
Oh yes.
But then I suggested maybe that this was low priority and working on something else. But so
Yeah.
you didn't start writing any code for this one, did you?
No, I didn't.
No. So no problem at all. So I think I'll just put that to unstarted.
All right.
Just so that in case somebody else wants to work on it. And of course, if you're excited by it and you want to work on it, then you know, that's absolutely fine. Okay. Homepage could say want to volunteer in Harrow, see below or search below. So there's a change there. And we've got Peter. Sigu, is Peter one of your folks?
Peter is one of us.
Ah, okay. Do you know if he's still working on this, or if we should put this back in the backlog?
Let's have it there. I think Musa can finish it up, or Peter will finish it up soon.
Okay, so maybe I'll add Musa onto there. Yeah, I think what I'm thinking of doing is if we can get into a flow where basically we have a meeting every 2 weeks. Every second week I will meet the client, and basically anything that doesn't get done in a 2-week sprint, we'll push it back into the backlog. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
It's my kind of new idea about, you know, rather than just having tickets open, and because the problem is if you have a ticket in here and it's like in here for 3 months and it's got your name in, then it kind of disincentivizes other people to start on it. So yeah, so here we've got, okay, so that's something you're working on there, Sigu, or you've requested it and some of your folks are working on it. We've got Musa, so that's a refactoring sure thing. Yep, good show. Events view for very long words. That was a bug that Stella found, and yeah, I guess that's deployed. Is that undeployed? Should I mark that as delivered? If we can just go and check that by doing events new. We've got very long event title.
I think it's a word that's very long.
Oh, okay. Very long word. And then it has to have an organization. What would be really nice, of course, is if this defaulted to the organization that you belong to. That date picker is really nice. There we go. So that looks very fixed, doesn't it? So that's delivered. Then we've got Node npm. So we've got that. This is the one where faith thing needs to be checked. We've got a bug there. Fix styling on view of proposed edits when text is too long. That's from. Okay, that was here. Okay, and that's all. So that looks like that. Yeah, it's an accept reject. We can. That's a sensible bug. Undo delete of a user. This was the one I think was Musa. You were saying, yeah, that's all sorted. Yeah, we've got. I guess I can quickly check that in the admin. We've got deleted users and we've got restore user operation. Yeah, so that's definitely all done. and I think the client has even done that. So that's interesting. Yeah, finish, deliver. Yeah, migrating from npm to yarn. Is that who's? So that's Faith. No, right. That's maybe what Faith's one does. How is that different from? I guess this is the bug report for which this chore will potentially be the fix. Okay, and we've got the more fields to the volunteers. So that's probably on develop now. I guess the more fields to that was just merged in, wasn't it? So that should. So this one here, if we'd had the right commit message, then it would have automatically finished. But so that will then be delivered once it gets onto production. Then we've got refactoring breadcrumbs. That's another of little chores. Lovely. Go there and click finish. Refactoring users and registration controller. There's one there. Oh gosh, I lose my place. It's so annoying. Is this so Getty? This one here, is this something you were working on?
No. Yes.
No.
Oh yeah, I worked on that. Yes, I did.
Did you do some code? Did you do a pull request for it?
Yes, I did. It was the first pull request I created.
Okay, and it was merged in.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so one of the things that means that these things get left is I don't know if you've seen, we've got in our contributing to MD, there's this little thing that you can do in the I'll find it here. So wrong thing, sorry. Pull requests. Yeah. If you can add the little text like this that says finishes the line number in the, like, it doesn't have to be the first or last or, any kind of Git comment there. That will mean that when Sigu merges it in, it will automatically mark the item as finished. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I'll do that in my next issue.
Yeah, lovely. It's I wish it was slightly less fiddly, but yeah, it's helpful. Once you've got it in, you're good. Okay, and so, gosh, is there still a lot of stuff? I was started at the top, and then it was jumping around, and now I'm coming at the bottom. Are we getting there? Event creation needs start and end time as well as. Yep, we'll see, but that's okay. That's another chore there. So I think we've got other ones. We've got to move. We've got other. There, we just have to make these chores. Upgrade the uglifier gem. So this stuff's all done, Nico. Yeah. We just need to make sure that we don't. I don't like. I'm gonna like massively confuse the client if I try and start asking him about to accept all these technical issues.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries. And then remove. Oh, thank you so much for removing coveralls and sorting that out. Or we did it together. And now we've got to remove coveralls from what's it called, from website. It's still kind of bumping along on website 1 and blocking all of our pull requests, isn't it? What's the deal there? Automate updating org data. That's the one that Brent's working on. Going that one there. Nil class failures for events on production. That's a Stomatios one. All right. So there was I mean that will have been deployed. And I think probably fixed. Move home tab to breadcrumbs. That's been done now. I think I've seen that. That's on production, right? We've got home there. It's done. Yep. Delivered. Local volop links not working well with embedded map. That's fixed. Geocode log messages polluting the test runs. That's still the case. Right. I guess SES has been working on that, and SES hasn't been around for a while. So maybe we will remove SES from that and put this in unstarted to get that back in the item there. The Ruby version is on 2.5 now, isn't it, Nico?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that can be finished, and then so we've got a series of other items here that are.
What's the version updated on the gem file? Sorry.
Oh, is it still 2? Right, I was just looking at 2.
I think it's 2.4 still.
Did we not?
I have to. Yeah, I have done a pull request that it was 2.5 but I closed it because I changed from a forked local support repository to the original one.
Right.
And yeah, now I have to do the same for Rubus, but
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I will do it now. I will do it now.
Okay. Yeah. Good show. Oh, right. And yeah, it's like feature. And so right. Okay. Gosh. Right. And then we've got a. Okay. Yeah. Oh, hopefully, I think. Oh, yeah, I think we're there now. So yeah, that was good. We came in. So we've finished. Oh gosh, I wish it wouldn't. When I click finish, I wish it wouldn't like keep jumping location. Can I view? If I want to review the current iteration only, I guess I get rid of all of these, and will it stop jumping around quite so much? So we've got. Support. Those are not finished. So there's chores. That chores not finished. But so that one. So we're on. Are we on PG version 1 now, Nico? I guess that's.
Yep.
Do that, and it just jumps to the top. That's such an annoying feature. Why don't do that? Search. Oh gosh, where are all the chores here? So then, jump and come back.
Can you change your sort to name or something rather than status?
There doesn't seem to be. I can hide the accepted stories. That might help. Let's see. Automated refactor is done. Oh, as a blocker. Is this so? Nick, is this something that you were working on here? Is this? What's the status of this?
I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so this is the.
Oh, we'd requested them, and I think they didn't have that data.
Well, they said that they had a lot of requests to supply that data, but they're busy doing something else at the moment, and they'll probably have it at the end of the year.
Yep.
So once we get that data, then we just need to go in and make our code see the data.
Yep. That looks like that's all okay then. All right, gosh. Well, I think we've managed to clean out at least the current iteration thing a bit. It's still got, I mean, basically, and hopefully I can clean out a lot of the accept tickets with the next meeting with the client. I think business that we have outstanding is just that one. We've got, I didn't get a chance to vote, but we've got, this is the allow editing of existing events that just got revealed. We have simple for everyone. Sigu's gone for medium. Sigu, do you want to just talk to why you were thinking that was a medium rather than a simple?
Yeah, I looked through the. I looked at the controller. It doesn't have the method.
Okay.
For editing,
right.
And that actually means that we'll have to write tests for that, cucumber tests and possibly R-spec model tests. Then, yeah, that's why I thought about that.
Right.
If it's a beginner doing that, because not everyone is comfortable with cucumber.
Sure. But although basically every ticket should involve some cucumber. So I would argue, I don't think we can say that a ticket is medium because it might involve writing some cucumber. I think that's, you know, we might not put beginner friendly on it because it's a little more complex, but I would be tempted to go with the majority here. And I mean, it's a simple thing in that there's examples of it being done in lots of other places, and it's standard Rails functionality. So,
right.
Yeah,
we can go with a simple for that. And Musa also typed in some stories that he feels are finished up on the chat.
Yeah, some other ones that look like they're done.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to pull this one into the bottom of the icebox there. Musa, we've got a couple. We're going to have to finish up because the main scrum coming up. Yes, but so Musa here, these things, they might well be done, but in order to press only, like the way that the whole system works is, it might be done, it might be out on production, but until the client sees it and says, yes, that's done to my satisfaction, we don't press accept.
Okay, noted.
So yeah, this is a perfectly reasonable state for them to be in, where they're done. The fact that it's got the accept reject means that we have merged them, we've delivered them. I mean, this refactoring, yeah, if this one is done there, that's a chore. Yeah, that for the chores, you know, once they're ideally, what would happen here is, as again, it comes back to this: if that had been merged in that chore, and if it had this, you know, correct syntax in the commit message, it would have been finished automatically. So the fact that it had been merged, and so that's in this case where it didn't have that, you know, for the next one, I can just press finish and that's done. Great. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna take a quick break before we have the main scrum. Thanks so much for joining with me in that. I know you were all riveted. It was very exciting seeing me kind of like work live through the tickets. I think that is a huge improvement to the board. And yeah, I'll speak to the client, and maybe, I know she hasn't been very free on Thursdays, but I will definitely make sure that we'll have a meeting as soon as possible. Yeah, and wonderful to see you all at this new time. Yay!
Yay.
Right.
Speak to you later.
Right.
Cheers.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Bye,
now.
everybody. Bye.
All right.
See you.